Hey everyone, you are watching kaushalbaatcheet. Welcome to the third episode of our first series, How Asking Questions Rightly Matters. Today we have a very magnetic personality as our special guest for you, whose energy in guiding the young mass and entrepreneurs is really different and extraordinary. You know what? Her way of expressing the real life ideas, insights, and recommendations so practically is really infectious. And that actually lead her to become the coach of hundreds of established entrepreneurs and young masses with her developing design thinking ability and as well as guiding principles and real life strategies which help so many young masses as well as entrepreneur to do something great in their life. With the whole story, one thing is very clear now that she is diving deeper and deeper with the questioning process, questioning methodology day by day, isn't it? So, I hope this episode will help our students to understand how asking questions rightly matters in their life. Okay, she is none of us, Mrs. Deepti Malhotra, professional life coach. So, let's welcome Mrs. Deepti. So, welcome Deepti to kaushalbaatcheet. Welcome to this episode.
Thank you, Santanu. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So in this budget, we will discuss actually how asking questions rightly matters. Okay. So yeah, I don't need any introduction right here. Okay. So directly coming to the point. So how was your childhood? Okay, basically. Okay. Let us know your childhood, about your childhood, and what type of inquisitiveness was there in your childhood. Let us introduce a little bit. What type of childhood?
Um, right. So I grew up as a shy and introverted child, which meant that although I did have friends and I enjoyed playing with them, I wasn't the most social in terms of like going to a party or going here and there with my friends. I spent quite a bit of time at my home. And because both my parents were working, it meant that I had a lot of time to spend by myself. Now, as children, we are naturally inquisitive.
Yeah.
So that was obviously there. But also because I had all the freedom and space, I used to ask myself a lot of questions. And early on, I remember because this was in the 90s when, women weren't working in the same scale that they are working now. So because I had a working mother, I used to watch her. I used to sometimes go with her to her workplace. She was a scientist. So everything that I saw around me made me sort of think and ask myself questions of the obvious ones. What do I want to do? And why should I do this? And why should I do that? But also, why is everybody doing the same kind of thing? Why is everybody getting a job or a degree or getting married and having children? So I used to ask myself those questions very early on. And I think it is because of that inquisitiveness that I've become this person that I am today.
Okay, that's great, really. So how you have just gradually means whenever you were in school age. Okay, fine. You have gradually up to college age. Okay, after that graduation and so many. So what type of do you feel any kind of degradation in your inquisitiveness? Is there anything like that? Do you feel in your
Uh, that's an interesting question. So I feel that there definitely was a time period when I started becoming less inquisitive and more accepting of just how things are. Acha, school khatam ho gaya, you have to go to college. College khatam ho gaya, you have to go to, do you want another degree? Do you want a job? So there was definitely that phase where I accepted a lot of things. But what happened, at least in my case, was that I wasn't happy doing those things. So because I was not happy, I started to question again
okay?
that why am I doing this? What about this really appeals to me? What should I be doing irrespective of what other people are doing? So
Okay.
the degradation does happen at a certain age because There's a lot of pressure to do this, to do that, and we sort of succumb to it.
Peer pressure. Am I right?
Peer pressure, yes, but also pressure from parents. कि अब ये age हो गई है, you need to do this, you need to do that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that sort of, sort of takes away a space to think and question.
Okay. So may I know the what type of particular the time zone means where you feel that yes, the idea of inquisitiveness is just pausing and I need to ask something. So what time zone actually that was?
I think that was the time when you have joined college. So you sort
Okay.
of chosen a direction. Let's say you choose engineering.
Okay.
Then your mind is like, Acha, my path is set. Now I'm going to become an engineer. I'll do this, 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 this. So that's when you sort of step back and question less because you feel कि मेरा path को अब decided है.
Yeah.
Just an example.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can you remember, remind the question actually, what was the leading question actually that helps you a lot to move something and to give a certain different direction to your life? Is there any leading question? Can you remember that?
Yes, one of the things that I often ask myself,
Okay.
whether irrespective of what I'm doing, is this making me happy? Is this good for me?
Great.
Because a lot of us are just doing things and they're not making us happy. We're not feeling like we're living an authentic life, like we want to do, but we keep doing.
Yeah.
And as soon as you ask yourself, am I happy doing this or living this life? Your mind will immediately tell you yes or no.
Okay.
And then you can ask further questions.
Yeah. So, Deepti, means after your college time, fine. Okay, you were going. Means how was the journey actually after your college? What were you were doing, and currently that you are doing now? Okay, life means training. So how the path actually has traced it? Means how the path?
So I studied engineering.
Okay.
For my bachelor's, and then I was not happy with what I'd studied. I didn't want to go further in that direction.
Why?
But I was still clear.
Okay.
I just did not enjoy the things that I studied. It did not feel like this is what I want to do in my life.
Okay.
So I then took a gap year to sort of explore and figure things out. But that was also not enough. And the reason I point this out is because when we are at a certain age, there's a lot of pressure on us. Ab jaldi figure out karo. You have 6 months, you have 1 year.
Yeah.
But your mind doesn't work like that. Uski apni ek journey hai. It will take time to figure out this is good, this is nice, this I enjoy. So I also had that journey. So I did my master's. And after that, I realized that no, technical is not my forte. It's not going to make me happy. And then I started to explore. I've done a lot of exploration,
Okay.
which is something that I feel I benefited from. So I've worked in sales, I've worked in fundraising, I've worked in project management, business management. So when I worked in a few different fields, I understood my strengths are this. I'm good at this. This is what I love to do. This is what I enjoy doing. This is my passion. And all that experience sort of helped me come together and be like, I will be great at this. Let me start doing more of this.
Yeah.
And that's how I found my path. And I organically became a life coach. Like it was like life training me to do this work, as opposed to ek din maine socha main ke banungi, and it's started preparing for that.
Great. So Deepti, means what kind of things actually you feel about questioning? Okay, fine. Because a questioning may lead us to a better life, or may disrupt us. Fine. So what do you feel about questioning? Means how do you feel about questioning, and how it is very fundamental for a human? What do you feel about that?
I feel that, yes, questioning is a very fundamental aspect of living a good life.
Okay.
Because, like I made the mistake, and I know millions of other people do, that we accept a path that is given to us. You do degree, you do another degree, you do this job, you do this, you get married. So, when we follow that path, and we don't think for ourselves, it's very likely we will not live a life that honors our strengths, our talent.
Yeah.
Questioning is very important. Um, what was the other part of your question? Sorry.
Means I am asking ki actually why do you feel that it is fundamental? Why it is fundamental?
Okay, right. So I remember you just mentioned that it could either really help you move forward or it could destroy your life.
Yeah.
I actually disagree. I don't think that if we are questioning, it can be harmful to us. What can be harmful is that if we are not humble enough to accept that I don't have all the answers right now, and it's okay that I will figure it out over time.
Yeah.
But when we question and we are curious and we are open to think and see, we always learn a lot more than we would if we didn't ask questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And asking question doesn't mean abhi answer aa jayega, abhi direction mil jayegi. But we will start somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, means that's really means whenever we are curious, okay, we have desire to know something, and questioning
Hmm.
is the only pathway to express our curiosity, isn't it?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so, what do you think actually? जो point आप mention किए ना अभी कि actually whenever children are asking, okay, someone is asking,
Hmm.
so he is
Yeah.
expecting कि मुझे solution चाहिए. तो do
Yeah.
you feel
Yeah.
that कि ये जो जनरेशन अभी चल रहा है कि स्टूडेंट की एक्सपेक्टेशन मींस क्वेश्चनिंग का मतलब ये होता है कि एक्चुअली मुझे सॉल्यूशन चाहिए तो वो गूगल करते
Hmm.
हैं या कुछ पूछते हैं या ऐसे कुछ चीजें तो मींस चिल्ड्रन आर नॉट एंजॉयिंग द ब्यूटी ऑफ क्वेश्चनिंग ओके दे आर एंजॉयिंग द attitude they are enjoying the art of answering okay from the question so do you feel means there is something inside the children so that they are expecting the solutions out of the question and what do you feel
Um,
that is it good or means they have to enjoy the question.
See, I feel that they are young and the kind of world that they are growing up in, everything is instantly available. सोशल मीडिया पे आप कुछ पोस्ट करते हो रिएक्शन इमीडिएटली आ जाता है आपको कुछ पता नहीं आप गूगल पे जाते हो इंफॉर्मेशन इमीडिएटली मिल जाती है आपको कुछ खरीदना है यू इमीडिएटली पे
Yeah.
So they've become very used to expecting immediate answers and results.
Right.
So it isn't their fault that they want immediate answers and solutions. And I think the only way they can learn is through experience, through doing again and again.
Okay.
That impatience isn't a good trait. Because when we are impatient, we are likely to make more mistakes. We are likely to do something that we weren't meant to do.
Yeah.
But because we were impatient, we just did it.
Yeah.
So I think there is no way to sort of teach yourself to, I don't want to do this. It's more like the more you question, the more mistakes you make, you will naturally learn that, no, I have to give it time.
Yeah.
An answer might come after a month or a week or like a few. But it's important to continue to question and not be like, अच्छा मुझे नहीं पता तो जो है वही कर लेते.
Exactly because I see कि actually student का जो ट्रेंड है ना okay अगर उसकी माइंड में कुछ क्वेश्चन है तो डायरेक्टली गूगल करते हैं without asking the family friends or teacher nowadays Google is everywhere fine so क्या होता है ना मींस ये जो क्वेश्चनिंग इंक्विजिटिवनेस है ये कंप्लीटली बायोलॉजिकल है ओके एज वी नो कि एक्चुअली जब भी हम कुछ क्वेश्चन करते हैं क्यूरियस होते हैं तो हमारे ब्रेन में एक न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर सीक्रेट होते हैं डोपामाइन फाइन सो व्हेन डोपामाइन इज सीक्रेटेड तो इट क्रिएट्स अ सर्किट फाइन ओके and that circuit actually makes our brain beautiful makes our brain active during that period fine whenever we have something curious so our brain kitna active रहते हैं isn't it we feel all we feel but the thing is that student वो टाइम को ज्यादा लॉन्ग नहीं करते फाइन वो टाइम को स्पेंड नहीं करते कि एक्चुअली क्यूरियस में रहना क्वेश्चन करना तो वो टाइम इंपॉर्टेंट है ब्रेन के लिए फाइन बट वो अलाउ नहीं करते सडनली मीन्स यू हैव नोटेड कि गूगल मीन्स अभी सब कुछ इंस्टेंट है इंस्टेंट फूड है इंस्टेंट रिएक्शन है इंस्टेंट लाइक्स है इंस्टेंट शेयर है तो सब कुछ इंस्टेंट है ये जो इंस्टेंट की टाइम है लोग एंटरटेनमेंट को भी instant entertainment means need कर रहे हैं, isn't it? That's why reels are coming, isn't it? Okay. So
Absolutely.
the thing is that ये जो instant की एज में चिल्ड्रन की पेशेंस कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है इसको समझना चाहिए, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
and the thing is what Dipti means क्वेश्चनिंग का, okay, जो क्वेश्चनिंग हम क्वेश्चन करते हैं, क्वेश्चनिंग का क्वालिटी कितना मैटर होता है आपके आपके हिसाब से? मीन्स जब भी हम क्वेश्चन करते हैं तो रैंडमली हम थिंक करते हैं, रैंडमली हम क्वेश्चन फॉर्म करते हैं, बट द थिंग इज दैट there is two side of problem. First of all, students have just forgotten to ask the question. Fine, this is fundamental. Fine. In other side, actually, some persons are asking, but they forgotten the quality of question. Okay, and quality is already overrated. Okay. So, what do you think about the quality? And quality means quality कितना matter होता है actually questioning space में? As you are now professional, you are daily asking so many questions. So hopefully, fine. So, what type of means what do you feel actually?
See, quality matters a lot, not just a little bit, because the quality of our questions sort of directs us in new directions. For example, it's easier to explain with the example. When we are in college, a question we ask ourselves, okay, should I do a master's degree next or should I get a job? Okay, if we decided we want to work, should I work for company A or company B or company C? So what we do is we tend to limit our options a lot already by asking the wrong kind of question कि मैं ये job करूँ या वो job करूँ, मैं degree करूँ या ये करूँ. But instead, if we were to ask a better quality of question, what would I like to do? What would I really enjoy doing? What is my strength? What can I use in a way that I can build my career around it? When we ask better quality questions, we will find more clarity, we will find more direction, and we will be able to move forward in a way that's better for us as opposed to very cookie cutter way of ye karna hai, wo karna hai, X karna hai, Y karna hai. So the quality matters immensely because the quality will determine what you do and what you don't do.
Okay. So, Dipti means as you are currently coaching the professionals. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what you have experienced in the clients जो persons आते हैं आपके पास and उनके अंदर में inquisitiveness की level क्या है? Means आप कैसे expect कर रहे हो and उनके अंदर actually real में क्या है? तो वो बारे में थोड़ा share कीजिए please.
So I work with people of many different ages, actually, from college students to people who are close to 60 years of age. It's a very wide scale, first of all. And also individual personality भी also comes into
young persons आते हैं ना, specifically जो college age में means 16, 18 से up to 30. Okay, जो ये age के जो persons आते हैं वो पर्सन की एक्चुअली इंक्विजिटिवनेस क्या होता है, कैसे होता है, वो कैसे थिंक करते हैं एक्चुअली?
A lot of it depends on the personality as well. Some people are naturally curious and they look around and they're like अच्छा वो कर रहा है मैं क्यों नहीं कर सकता, मुझे भी करना है. And some people naturally have this अच्छा नहीं, this is life, this is what I need to do. Some people are more accepting of circumstances. So it varies a lot from person to person, and it depends a lot on the culture that you grew up in at home. Did your parents encourage you to ask questions, or they were always like, "No, I've told you this. This is what you need to do." That sort of shapes us. Also, the kind of people that you have around yourself, matlab in office, in your friend circle, are those people asking good questions? Are they people who are thinking about life in new ways? Or sabhi ko wahi, I want to do a job, I want to buy a house. So the kind of people you live around, the kind of people you were brought up with, your own personality, the kind of content that you consume online. Just, there'll be some people just like, let's say, only consuming I don't know, for example, clothing or something very visual, or just like binge watching something. And some people will also be consuming content that makes them think, like a documentary about an interesting subject or something that they know nothing about.
Yeah.
So, how you spend your time will determine the kind of things that you think about and question.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that varies a lot depending on what you do.
Okay, okay. So one point actually you have noted means pointed here कि actually ये depend करता है personality to personality. Fine, क्वेश्चनिंग जो एबिलिटी होता है एंड ये पर्सनालिटी का भी डिपेंडेंस होता है, एक लिंक होता है कि उनके जो बचपन से चाइल्डहुड से वो कैसे पेरेंटिंग हुए, फाइन, एंड उसको कैसे कितने कॉरेज मींस मिला है, कॉरेज कितना उनके अंदर है कि हाउ टू आस्क द क्वेश्चन एंड व्हाट टू आस्क द क्वेश्चन, वेयर टू आस्क द क्वेश्चन, फाइन. सो दिस इज द रियली नाइस पॉइंट. तो आपको ये फील होता है कि एक्चुअली बचपन से हमको कोई रोकता है, कोई स्टॉपनेस लाते हैं हमारे अंदर. तो स्टॉपनेस कितने इफेक्टेड होते हैं हमारी लाइफ से. ओके क्योंकि आप एक्चुअली एक्सपीरियंस किए हैं ऐसे कुछ पर्सनालिटी जो प्रोफेशनल है, ओके, जो स्टूडेंट्स है मे बी, ओके, एंड दे आर जस्ट स्ट्रगलिंग टू डू समथिंग बेटर इन देयर लाइफ, isn't it? This is the common trait. Am I right? ओके. सो उनके जो अंदर में कॉरेज थोड़ा कम है या थोड़ा जो डाउन हो रहा है, फाइन, इसका रीजन उनकी चाइल्डहुड की कॉरेज से. तो आस्क द क्वेश्चन. ओके. तो वो एक्चुअली कितना इफेक्टेड होता है, एक पर्सन कितना इफेक्टेड होता है अगर उसको मीन्स अच्छी कॉरेज नहीं मिला है तो, फाइन. तो आपकी एक्सपीरियंस से वो कितना इफेक्टेड होता है एक्चुअली.
आई फील काफी अफेक्ट हो सकता है बिकॉज largely Indian culture still is that accept what the authority says, accept what the elder is telling. Do not question. अगर parent ने बोल दिया, teacher ने बोल दिया, grandparent ने बोल दिया, आपका क्या काम है? To listen and do what you're being told.
Yeah.
So that does affect our ability because children are curious. They ask a lot of questions naturally. Yeah. But if you ask 100 questions, example, and out of those 100, your parents or teachers tell you like 90 times, no, just do what I'm telling you. Sit down, listen to me. I am right. So kahin na kahin you get discouraged and you're like, "Fayda to hai nahi. Let me just do what I've been told." So the effect is quite significant. But कहाँ पे आ जाता है ना कि आपकी पर्सनालिटी कैसी है. कहीं ना कहीं some people are rebellious. They're like, no, I won't accept, I won't listen, I won't do it. Where some people are more accepting, some people are a combination. Sometimes they accept, sometimes they question. So it is a combination of external conditioning and our internal personality.
Yeah. Deepti, do you
much?
Yeah. One point is here कि एक्चुअली जो आप जो पॉइंट मेंशन किए ना कि एक्चुअली जब भी हमको कोई रुकावट आते हैं मींस कोई स्टॉपनेस आते हैं फ्रंट में, ओके, तो हमको पार करना चाहिए, हमको ओवरकम करना चाहिए. बट ये पॉसिबल नहीं होते है स्टूडेंटहुड से. एंड स्टूडेंट्स क्योंकि स्टूडेंट के अंदर इतना तो कॉरेज नहीं है ना कि एक्चुअली वो ओवरकम कर सके, isn't it? ओके, क्योंकि हम अभी बोलने ये मीन्स बोलने के लिए इजी है, फाइन, बट ये रियल लाइफ में जो भी रूरल इंडिया को सोचो, फाइन, एंड सम काइंड ऑफ एरिया को सोचो जो एरिया में एक्चुअली ये पॉसिबल नहीं है स्टिकली. ओके, तो दैट्स द पेन पॉइंट एक्चुअली आई एम टॉकिंग विद दैट एक्चुअली हाउ टू ओवरकम दैट व्हेनेवर देयर इज सम काइंड ऑफ नेगेटिविटी सिचुएशन. ओके, तो चिल्ड्रन फियर करता है टू बीइंग जॉज्ड. ओके, अगर मैं कुछ बोलूं तो मुझे कुछ मेरा क्वालिटी में क्वेश्चन आएगा क्या, मेरा जो लिमिटेड नॉलेज के क्वेश्चन आएगा क्या, फाइन. सो ये जो सारे फियरनेस है तो है ना, तो ये फियरनेस को कैसे हम ओवरकम करके उसको एक सेफ्टी जोन मीन्स दिला सके, फाइन, उसको एक सेफ्टी जोन क्रिएट कर सके. तो व्हाट डू थिंक अबाउट दैट एक्चुअली फॉर दोस काइंड ऑफ students who have no courage to overcome that?
See, the good thing about the world we're living in now is that we are not dependent on a person or a few people to answer our questions.
Yeah.
So by those people, I mean parents and teachers, because इन्हीं से हम सबसे ज़्यादा questions पूछते हैं, right? So now, if you are curious about something, Why not go look online? Look, read on those topics. There is so much material information online now. Even if your parent is saying, I am not going to do this, you go do this, you go look online, you search. Even if you cannot have that question answered by the person you want, explore other options. Internet hai, talk to your friends, talk to, maybe there is, in school sometimes there is one teacher who's friendly, who will answer questions chahe char aur ho jo bole nahi aap baith jao. So find those people in your life who will indulge you, give you that space where you can ask freely.
Yeah,
एंड कहीं ना कुछ जरूर मिल जाता है अगर आप ढूंढो. सो
exactly.
व्हाट आई वुड से, डिस्करेज मत हो. लेट दोस पीपल बी जो आंसर नहीं करते. फाइंड समबडी हु विल आंसर इट.
Exactly. Nice. Really, really it is helpful. Okay. So the thing means whenever student का जो means scenario रहते हैं ना, okay, जो childhood की scenario रहते हैं, some are engaged in the classroom. They are asking so many questions. They are thinking something. Okay, inside the classroom. Some are not engaged themselves too much about the classroom. सो वो टाइप की स्टूडेंट की कैसे हम एक्चुअली इंक्विजिटिवनेस की एक कल्चर बिल्ड कर सकते हैं क्लासरूम में. बट यू थिंक अबाउट दैट कि क्लासरूम में ऐसे कुछ होना चाहिए जिसके रीजन से चिल्ड्रन ज्यादा इंस्पायर्ड हो गए कि एक्चुअली यस आई हैव टू आस्क द क्वेश्चन, आई हैव टू डू दैट, व्हाई आई नीड टू दैट. ओके, सो जो चिल्ड्रन की एक पॉइंट आप मेंशन किए मींस सो मेनी टाइम्स, ओके, कि एक्चुअली चिल्ड्रन की जो क्वेश्चनिंग होता है ना, ओके, वो क्वेश्चनिंग नहीं करके वो एक्सेप्ट कर देते हैं ज्यादातर चीजें पर्सन्स. ओके, तो चिल्ड्रन के माइंड में जो थ्योरी को लेकर एक्सेप्टेंस होता है ना, ओके, तो वो एक्सेप्टेंस कैसे बंद होगा एंड वो कैसे क्वेश्चन कर पाएंगे. तो व्हाट डू थिंक अबाउट दैट?
I feel with respect to this, the responsibility lies on people who are elder. So the teachers, the people, because see, they are the ones setting the tone. जैसे एक company या organization होती है, उसका culture, the tone is set by the leader. If the leader does not like you to answer, ask questions, आप एक बार करोगे, दो बार करोगे, चार बार करोगे, आप कभी ना कभी तो रुक जाओगे ना. अगर leader बोल रहा है sorry, your opinion is not needed. So I feel that at least in a classroom, what we need to do is we need to sort of work with our teachers to train them and help them see that they have to build an environment in the class where questions are invited, where there are no bad questions, no stupid questions, no questions that they don't want to answer. Because student is not in the position of authority. A teacher is. So it is up to the teacher to sort of encourage that environment where children are allowed to ask questions, they're allowed to explore, and it is not about I'm the one with knowledge, I want to give you this, you take this lesson over, go away. Because that is the rote learning that we encourage and push on our students.
Yeah. Really, really it is helpful. And lastly but not least, okay, so चिल्ड्रन के लिए ऐसा 3 टिप्स प्लीज दीजिए जो टिप्स के हिसाब से वो एक्चुअली इंस्पायर हो सके सेल्फ क्वेश्चनिंग. एक पॉइंट आप मेंशन किए एक्चुअली क्वेश्चनिंग हेल्प मी टू सेल्फ रियलाइज, isn't it? Okay,
Absolutely.
fast शुरू पे.
So you're asking me 3 questions that students can ask themselves, right?
Yeah.
So the first one, I think you put it really well. Does this make me happy? Do I enjoy doing this? Because that gives us clues to what we should do more of and practice and explore.
Okay.
The second question I would say is, what am I good at? Because there are things that, like, for example, a kid might say, I enjoy playing football. Great, do more of that. But what are you good at? Are you good at, let's say, debating? Are you good at organizing something? Are you good at persuading people to do something? Because when you know what I'm good at and you can polish it, again, it becomes a skill that you can explore in a lot of different ways. So to know what am I good at, what do I like doing, what do I feel happy doing, and then what would I like to do if I had all the freedom.
Yeah.
because that freedom we don't give to ourselves. We tell ourselves, nahi, mummy papa ne bola hai, teacher ne bola hai, ye karna hai. What would I like to do if I had the freedom to do anything?
Yeah.
See where your mind goes and then see what can I explore. Give
Exactly.
yourself the space and opportunity to explore, because that exploration process leads to self realization.
That's
Otherwise it's very easy to fall into the cliche path of I need to do this, I need to do that, and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really. So, really, it will be helpful to our students actually to realize the importance of questioning. Okay. So,
Hmm.
really, so many thanks, Dipti, for your valuable time you share with us. Okay. So, it will be great. Hope it will be great for our students. Okay. So, nice to meet you again. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.